to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Here.
Alderman Jacob.
Here.
Alderman Messina.
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Here.
Alderman Marcy.
Here.
Alderman D. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Here.
Mayor Police.
Here. I declare.
Alderman Woods is here too.
Didn't they call you?
No.
Alderman Woods.
I'm
How
here.
you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
I declare a quorum. Please stand, join Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. I need a motion to approve the city council minutes of June 15, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
So moved. That's three people said that.
Alderman Wesley, Eugene Wesley, and Mike Sosmarski, second. Any questions, corrections, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Do any citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? I do have one card, Mr. Robert Britz. If you go to podium, name and address, please.
My name is Robert Britz. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Illinois with the law firm of Addison and Britz, 1804 North Napier Boulevard, Naperville, Illinois. And I am here representing Temco Electric Heater Corporation. I'm sure you all recall that Temco has been before you a couple of times. The last time there was not a successful motion to approve the number of petitions that Temco had provided. Because of new conditions and changed conditions, we are seeking direction from the board, from the city council on which way to proceed on this. I am told that the mayor had suggested to Mike Latoria, one of our consultants, that he go back to staff and work with them and see if they could work something out. In reliance on that, Temco revised some of their plans to present a hopefully more acceptable plan to the city council. Mike Latoria met with staff, Ed Cage and Kelly Chrissy, and had previously formally submitted to the building department all his plans on July 10th. We don't know whether the staff has submitted those revised plans to the city council or not. Mike Latoria was told by city staff that staff would not object if Temco was to proceed with its petition. They did not formally approve it, but they indicated they would not object. The revised plans call for the following change conditions and improvements: a reduction in the number of parking spaces in order to comply with the city code. All parking lot islands required by the code will be provided. All landscaping required by the code will be provided, with the exception of along the north side of the new building addition. Temco has voluntarily agreed to withdraw its request for all variances except three. One, elimination of requirement of 10-foot foundation landscaping along the north side of proposed building addition, 8 1/2 foot parking space width, and the third one is a 20-foot drive aisle and parking lot. The foregoing three variances are still requested by Temco, and one of its original presentations to staff and committees, staff had indicated that it had no objections to those three variances. Temco is prepared to comply with all city ordinances and is looking to the city council for direction on this. Thank you.
Thank you, and just for clarification, when Mr. Latoria spoke to me, I told him, you need to speak to the staff to find out what the next steps are, not to work things out or allude to any,
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do any other citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? Okay, I do have one written communique. Resident says, congratulations, I'm a senior citizen with a handicap and just must tell you how pleased I am with all the services provided for me in Wooddale. I'm sure you probably receive many complaints, but I have none. These services have allowed me to live independently and very comfortably. Police services, have been outstanding, as well as emergency service I received from the fire department when I needed emergency transportation to the hospital. But the most important and beneficial service has been the ride service. I especially want you to know how wonderful the service I constantly receive from Violet has never failed me. Dawn, a driver for the service, is an outstanding driver and deserves special recognition. I am always glad to have Dawn as my driver. She never fails to assist me. Just a thank you letter from Miss Arlene Benson.
Irene who?
Arlene Benson. Next, under Mayor's Report, I have 3 quick items, or actually 2 quick items, and then I'll turn it over to the chief. First is Prairie Fest, July 27th through July 30th, Community Park Ball Fields, food, fireworks, carnival. Check the website for all bands and items for the kids. Next is Night Out, Wooddale Police Night Out, Tuesday, August 1st, from 5 to 7 between the pool and the police department, and 7 to 9 in the Wooddale Water Park. Next, Chief, you want to take care of the volunteer award? Thank you.
Sure. If I could have Diane Hammernick come up too. Pleased to be joined tonight by Chief William Kushner from the Des Plaines Police Department. Over here is fine. Yeah, sure. And thank him for taking time out of his busy schedule. They're dealing with a lot of flooding right now, so appreciate him coming down to present this award. This is the second year in a row that we've nominated one of our citizen volunteers for the Outstanding Citizen Award with the Illinois Chiefs Association. And Diane is certainly very deserving of that award. She's been serving as a volunteer with our agency for over 13 years now. She was a Citizen Police Academy graduate, and that's how she got introduced to the police agency. Some of the things that Diane does on a regular basis for us is she's in there every Monday, and she's going through the week before crime reports and assisting us with mapping where those crimes are and developing a crime analysis that not only identifies where crimes are happening, but also allows us to plan responses to prevent future crimes from happening. And I know that report is shared with City Council and also on our website on a regular basis for the residents. In addition to that, Diane's always helping with miscellaneous things that might be needed. She's a big part in compiling our annual report that we do every year, and just a great helping hand and a friendly face that we enjoy having around, and we certainly treasure the 13 years and over 2,700 hours of volunteer service she's given to the police department and the city. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Chief Kushner.
Thank you, Chief. Ms. Hammernick, over 2,700 hours of volunteer service. You are definitely be commended. I'm here on behalf of the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police. I'm one of the vice presidents, and I'm very proud to present you with the Outstanding Citizen Award for 2017.
I just will say I am truly honored to be given this award. I never expected it, and I was so surprised when Greg told me about a month ago. And I still can't believe it, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Then we'll go outside and take a picture.
Thank you. Next, city manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 2 items. One, just remind the council that our strategic planning initiative for our revision and update is forthcoming this summer. please submit your forms to staff when you have completed them. Any residents interested in strategic planning, we do post our plan on the website, and it helps us plan accordingly for future CIPs, budgets, and just city strategies overall. Second, want to announce the retirement of Officer Shiro. He has submitted for a retirement letter effective August 9th, 2017. He'll be leaving the city after over 28 years of service. As with the other recent retirements and positions, we will be working to fill the open positions over the coming year. That concludes my report. Oh, I believe Greg actually,
Chief,
you have
go
a
ahead.
couple other retirements too, or that you wanted to announce?
I'm not sure what you touched on, but from Officer Broch that did retire, we have someone in the academy right now. We did an oral interview last night to prepare for the next opening. And, you know, just know that as you see some of these retirements, we'll be making some adjustments down there. We've kind of gone through a period where we haven't had more than maybe one retirement over a year to a year and a half period. Now we're going to go through a period where we have several. It's not territory, it's territory we've been down before. We'll make some adjustments as far as possibly investigation staffing and/or, you know, we do put an officer in the school 3 days a week at the local junior high and elementary. Some adjustments there and some coverage, but we will get it covered. The street coverage will be first priority, which is always the first priority. And, you know, we'll just be working through the process of hiring new officers, and we also have a new testing for a new eligibility list that's occurring next month. So,
Thank you, Chief. Alderman Messina, go ahead.
Hey, Chief, should we expect to see staffing levels change at all on the streets?
Chief.
No, we'll still have our minimum staffing levels, and what we do is, you know, we prioritize training, so there might be a little bit less elective trainings that go on during the next few months. Like I said, we will probably make some adjustments in the investigations division that perhaps short periods of time, someone will come out for street coverage for a month or two, but they can still handle cases during downtime. So we'll adjust. Street coverage will not be affected. We'll always have at least our minimums there, and you know, with proper notice, we're able to make some adjustments to schedules and/or shifts that people are on. So it's just a period that we have to take it in small bits, and as each domino falls, that'll affect how we respond, but we'll always have plenty of coverage, so.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Next, we have 10 items on the consent agenda. Do we have any objections? Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
Make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. Now, I will entertain a motion to approve the items on the agenda. Item number 1, an ordinance amending the City of Wooddale Overnight Parking Ordinance, Chapter 15, Article 13, Section 15.1319 of the City Code regarding certain post-meridian parking. Item number 2, resolution seeking to approve an intergovernmental agreement for Contract 4644 of the Illinois 390 project between the Illinois State Toll Highway Authority, the Illinois Department of Transportation, the County of DuPage, the City of Wooddale, and the Village of Bensonville. Item number 3, a resolution seeking to approve an intergovernmental agreement for Contract 4642 of the Illinois 390 project between the Illinois State Toll Highway Authority, the County of DuPage, the City of Wooddale, the Village of Itasca, and the Wooddale Park District. Item number 4, approval of amendment number 8 with H.R. Green for the Elgin O'Hare Western Access Project to extend the agreement from July 1st, 2017 to April 30th, 2018 in an amount not to exceed $149,456. Item number 5, approval of project cost letter for contract 4642 of the Illinois 390 project between the Illinois Tollway, DuPage County, City of Wooddale, Village of Itasca, and Wooddale Park District. Item number 6, approval of final project cost letter for contract 4644 of the Illinois 390 project between the Illinois Tollway, Illinois DOT, DuPage County, City of Wooddale, and the Village of Bensonville in an amount not to exceed of $313,826.89. Item number 7, approval of change order number 2 for the Ward 2 Phase 4 project to adjust the completion date to November 17, 2017, and additional drainage work in an amount not to exceed $134,109.57. Item number 8, approval of final project cost letter for contract 4640 of the Illinois 390 project between the Illinois Tollway, DuPage County, and the City of Wooddale in an amount of $634,531.26. Approval of contribution to the Suburban O'Hare Commission in a not to exceed amount of $25,000. Item number 10, a resolution relating to the participation by elected officials in the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second. Okay, motion and second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. Next, committee chairman reports, planning, zoning, and building. Alderman Woods.
I have 2 reports, Mayor. One, an ordinance authorizing a variation to the City of Wooddale's building height regulation for the redevelopment of 1555 North Middle Boulevard, Wooddale, Illinois. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Alderman Roy Wesley.
I do have some questions on the, Mr. Cage probably could answer these questions.
Go ahead.
On this property, was there a traffic study done?
Mr. Cage.
Yes, thank you. No, a traffic study wasn't required for this project because it's a reduction in actual use. So typically, when a development is increasing employees or increasing numbers and it affects the traffic, we'll take a look at it. But as this is an office building right now with approximately 243 parking spaces, and it's changing to a warehousing distribution facility with about 76 parking spaces, I believe. That doesn't warrant the need for a traffic study. And also, the other key point is there's no change in access points or driveways.
You have follow-up? Go ahead, Alderman Wesley.
What business is it? Is this a spec building, number one? Number two, what business is going in there? And how many employees are there?
Mr. Cage.
Yes, it's a spec building. The applicants here, I don't know if it's public knowledge who's going in there, so I don't want to comment on that. Obviously, that's for the applicant to discuss or not, as the case may be. And then employees numbers, we were talking 100 or so.
Go ahead, you have follow-up?
There was also a problem that that they mentioned last week about Sharon driveway, that they haven't received a letter from the neighbor. Has that been solved between them? And, you know, I have a little problem here when we don't know actually how many employees they're gonna have. This is a spec building. So, unless they could answer that, you know, we sit up here and make decisions, and I'm gonna sit here and why I'm gonna say, right now, I'm gonna vote no for it because I don't have all my answers. And those are the answers I need answered. So, I don't have a problem sitting up here saying it. I'm all business friendly, but I want my answers, and I'm not afraid to put my opinions out there. Not like how things been going. So, if I can't get my answers, it's gonna be a no for me.
Thank you. Do I have an answer on it? It's a spec, right? Mr. Cage.
Just to, the industrial park, there's a lot of activity, just so,
Could you please state your name?
My name is Kyle Schmitz. I'm with Prologis, the developer. I'm the development manager for this project. So just to kind of give you a little bit of insight, the maximum number of parking spots for this facility that we could ever build is 92. We are in pretty far down the road discussions with the tenant. While the building is speculative, we expect to have a tenant before we break ground. That tenant is having us build 76 parking spots. They do have the option over a 7-year lease to extend up to 92. So that's the answer to that question. And as Mr. Cage said, there's 280 parking spots currently right now in the office building. In regards to the letter, we are working, from a use standpoint, we're obviously entitled to the use from the zoning, but we do want to be a good neighbor to C.H. Robinson, who's the tenant adjacent to the site. We've got global relationships with them, and we are doing what we can to work with them, and we'll continue to work with them throughout the project. I think their biggest concern is truck traffic in what now is strictly office. And I think they think this is going to be a large distribution center, but this is an 80,000 square foot facility. You don't see the volume of trucks that one might think, or at an Amazon type facility, especially with the particular user that we're looking at. We're very happy to work with the neighbor in regards to their concerns, but
Do you have the letter?
I have not received the letter. I believe it was received by staff. And staff had responded to the letter and basically said they were concerned about the use, and staff had basically, the response that I was told was that it's within our rights for the use that we're proposing, and the variance that we're asking for is not a use variance, it's a height variance.
All right, thank you. You have another question?
I understand your statement. I do have a concern because we've sat up here before for a company that was just denied last week. I have a problem when there's, you're saying staff.
Do you have a question for him?
Sure I do.
Then say it.
So why, I got a question for Ed Moore. Why aren't we having a traffic study done?
He gave you that answer already.
No,
Yes, he did.
We did it before.
He gave you the answer.
Okay, fine, Mayor.
Thank you. You have another question? Alderman Sismarski.
I guess Ed could answer this since he sat down. You did say this is a distribution, not manufacturing, correct? So the reduction of people that are going to be there?
It's a spec building.
Spec building, so it's a distribution plan, not a manufacturing. That's
I
what
don't think
just
Mr.
wanted-
Cage, no, go ahead, Mr. Cage.
To answer that question, it is a distribution facility. And then just to go back briefly to a comment that was brought up earlier about spec building, the point that I was going to make before the applicant stood up was that we have a lot of activity in the industrial park. There's an article in the Daily Herald that reflects that. A number of these buildings are going to be spec buildings, but they're going to be use specific. So the applicant is building 76 parking spaces with some land bank parking spaces of 17 if they need it, as it's a reduction. Right now, with the amount of traffic generated by an office building, up to 243 parking spaces, a lot more impact on the streets. Typically, a parking study is warranted when we have the use that's proposed going to an office building when we have the increase. But I know the applicant will diligently work with the neighbor. The neighbor raised the issue with the driveway easement. I know it's in the applicant's interest to resolve that, and I'm sure they will.
Go ahead, Alderman Sismarski, got a follow-up?
No.
Alderman Messina, you were next.
I just want to make sure I understood this correctly. I was not here last week. So we have a spec building with on record, nobody in the building quite yet. We do know it's distribution. We sat here 3 weeks ago, and I respect the decision the rest of my council made. I just very concerned because we keep stressing consistency, and I'm going to say it because you shut him down. You just talked about a distribution facility. You talk about trucks, and you're not going to have a truck. You're not going to have a traffic study. Where is the consistency then? To me, I have a major problem with the consistency If you're gonna let one, and a 30-year American company not do a traffic study and spend all this money and shut them down and not even, and do what they did. They came back and worked with you guys, which you guys agreed to the original 3 that you guys wanted, and yet we have something new. So we basically should just tell that business, knock down the facility, come to us new, and that will thank you. So my whole thing about, forget all that, is why are we not giving them a traffic study if we're trying to be consistent?
And I think he answered that question.
I didn't hear it. Could you
Go ahead.
repeat
You
yourself?
want to repeat it again?
Reduction in employees.
Typically, a traffic study is required when traffic increases, because you want to analyze the impact on the streets. In this case, the amount of traffic
easy.
has been significantly reduced because they're only building 76 parking spaces up to a maximum of 93 with the 17 land bank. So the fact that the vehicles on the street will be reduced, if it was going the other way, would they be required to have a parking study? Absolutely. A traffic study? Absolutely.
How about the type of traffic, right? So you can go on Amazon's parking lot, you see 16 cars parked there because there's no cars there because it's all automated. But you see about probably 500 trucks leave there a day. So that has an impact on traffic, the type of vehicles, right? So we're talking about a facility that's going to have a different type of vehicle on there, in my opinion, probably cause more damage to our streets than a regular automotive vehicle. And you're nodding your head, yeah, so I just don't understand. If we're going to sit and be consistent, which again, I'm cool with what my colleagues decided on, but if we're going to be consistent, let's be across the board and let's do a traffic study.
Follow up, go ahead.
Yes. The reason I noted is the industrial park where this location is, the streets are significant, the thickness, the material is significantly different because it is a truck trafficked area. So typically, the ordinance requires a traffic study when traffic is increased. I know there's some concerns here with the different kind of traffic, and yes, it's a distribution center. That's the type of activity that we're seeing a lot of in the industrial park. We're looking at, today we're looking at 1555 Michael. Before we looked at 1500 Michael. It's a similar facility. We're in a great location in Wooddale because we're close to the airport. We're across the border from Cook County. We have a lot of advantages, which is why there's a lot of redevelopment activity. But I understand the question, and I think maybe this is something that we could take a look at in terms of when we amend the code with our text amendments.
Alderman Messina, go ahead,
Yeah, I
follow
just
up.
want to ask Scott, and I give you major kudos. I appreciate that. I just hope that if we see this increase, could we sit down, maybe not us, but staff, and really narrow down exactly this is what is going to happen as someone enters the process?
Sounds like a strategic planning.
Yes, it does. Could we please commit to that?
Okay, Mr. King.
That's an excellent point. Strategic plan, I know we've got, and I know the board, the council's heard this a number of times, we've got some text amendments coming. Maybe that's something, and I've heard it from Alderman Wesley, yourself, a few other people about traffic studies. Maybe that's something we can clarify the code on so that everybody's on the same page.
Thank you.
Alderman Jacob, you had your hand up?
Fine.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Abstain.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
That passes.
Next, an ordinance eliminating the Build to line requirement for Type 14 buildings in Article 6, Section 17.605B, 2C of the Unified Development Ordinance, Chapter 17 of the City of Wooddale Municipal Code. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Who was second? Tony? Okay. Questions? Roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
That passes.
That's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public Health and Safety, Alderman Sorrentino.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public Works, Alderman Sismarski.
Mayor, I have 8. I have approval of partial payment request number 2 to Martam Construction for the Edgebrook Lift Station, and then not in an amount not to exceed $247,331.25. That's my motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Alderman Eugene Wesley.
Could someone tell me when ComEd's coming out to put the meter in that thing before we could,
Mr.
make the
York.
change?
ComEd has said that they're going to be out at the end of next week, by the end of next week to finish that project.
For sure.
Well,
ComEd
that's
has
for
said-
sure is comment.
Okay.
You have a follow-up question? Any other questions? Roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes.
Next, I have approval of partial payment request number 3 to A-Lamp Concrete Contractors for the Ward 2 Phase 3 project in an amount not to exceed $472,391.10. That is my motion.
Second.
Who seconded that? Sorry,
Tony.
Tony. Do we have any questions? Questions? Roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Next,
And
I
that
have
passes.
next, I have the approval of partial payment request number 1 to R.W. Dunneman for the Potter Street beautification project and the amount not to exceed $242,538.04. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions? Alderman Jacob, go ahead.
I just wanted to make a comment on this. I'm a little bit unhappy with the seed that they put down, although I was told that they put the proper seed down. I mean, there's a lot of weeds growing there in that. So I'm hoping we're gonna take care of that. I was assured by Public Works that that's gonna be handled eventually. That's it, thank you.
All right, thank you. Alderman Woods.
Along the same line, what was, on one of the other streets we laid sod, but on Potter Street, we didn't lay sod. Why was one company laying sod, the other, was that the spec of the contract? or-
Mr. York, can you answer that, please?
Yeah, that was the spec of the contract, was for dirt and seed.
Any, Alderman Roy Wesley.
Matt, how are you gonna maintain that? How are you gonna cut that?
Mr. York.
Well, we're gonna, hopefully work with the business owners in that area to, maintain the, properties in front of their, buildings. And if they do not, then the, Public Works will, work with, our current resources to, maintain those properties.
What- Basically.
Go ahead, Alderman Wesley.
Basically, how, are you gonna do that with a push mower, or are you gonna do that? I mean,
Mr.
because
York.
you can't get.
Well, I'm not gonna get a 60-inch rider mower on there, so I'm either gonna do it with the push mower, or we're gonna have to do it with a, weed whacker in areas.
Okay.
All right, who else, somebody else had their hand up here.
No, he answered my question.
Okay. Alderman Catalano, you're next.
So in the future, we're going to put some trees up over there?
That'll be, Mr. Murmas.
As you remember, when we first talked about this project, this was the baseline to get it going. And in future CIP years, we talked about native grasses or other type of items, but the template was just grass to start.
Do you have a follow-up?
No.
Alderman Woods.
So for clarity, are we accepting the maintenance of those things, or are they business owners?
Mr. Bond, you want to handle that?
I mean, it sounds like there's options. So what was the original intent? That the building owners take care of it, or is the?
Mr. York, go ahead.
The original intent, I guess, is to go like every place else in town, that the parkway is maintained by the people that live adjacent to it, or are built and have their commercial properties adjacent to it.
Well,
So, I mean, if they fail to do it, then obviously, we'll either have a contractor do it, or the city will maintain it.
Alderman Messina.
I think a while back when I inquired about this, I was told kind of the opposite. I was told that since the city went in and put in islands, that theoretically up front, we would maintain those with the hope that down the road, they would take ownership of that. I just, to Alderman Woods' point, want clarity, because we spent a lot of money there, and just make sure that we're not having to email you guys every 2 weeks to, is it on the rotation to be cut?
Mr. Murmas.
While it would be best if the individual owner mowed the grass, I'm pretty sure it'll fall into disrepair unless we take a proactive approach, which is what we've talked about, because the long-term plan for that area is to
Grass.
make it better looking than just grass. Hence, it's gonna be a maintenance issue.
All right. Roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yep.
Yes.
And that passes.
Next, I have approval for partial payment request number 1 to an R.W. Dunman for the fiscal year 2018 road project in the amount not to exceed $294,221.19. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Questions?
I-
Alderman Jacob?
Which road is this for exactly? I'm
Mr. York?
looking for it, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's the FY18 project. That was Grove, multiple streets throughout town. Aspen was one, Catherine Court was one. I mean, I could get you the list out of the CIP.
Right. You have a follow-up? Go ahead,
So
Alderman Jacob.
this was the one for this, all the various roads in the city,
Yeah,
so
this
it's not
is-
just one road.
This is a grind and overlay.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Wesley?
I got my question.
Oh, thank you. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
That passes.
Next, I have approval for final payment request to Copenhagen Construction Incorporated for the Edgewood Sidewalk Project in the amount not to exceed $48,275.39. That's my motion.
Do I have a second? Second. Do we have any questions? Alderman Eugene Wesley?
Yeah, I have maybe 2 questions. What is left, which I asked for, how much money is there for the maintenance bond?
Go ahead, Mr. York.
The maintenance is a warranty bond, so there's a warranty. There's no set amount in the contract. We went back and looked at the contract. There's no set amount, but they're obligated by the contract to warranty their work for 2 years. So if they do not uphold the warranty, and maybe Mr. Bond can give a little bit more insight to that. but-
Mr. Bond?
Yeah, so essentially what would happen in that instance, because it's not clear what the total cost could be, it's going to be whatever it turns out to be. So if we need to call on the warranty within that 2-year period, whatever the cost is, when the city would be required to get an estimate of whatever hasn't been done to the satisfaction of the city compliant with the contract, and that's the amount that they would be required to pay.
Okay.
You have a follow-up? Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead, Alderman
So
Wesley.
my question here, first one, why did this one go not a warranty bond, but every other project has come forward here has always have to put a maintenance bond up? for
A
road
retainage,
projects?
you mean?
Right, a retainage.
Mr. Bond,
Why
can you
isn't
answer
there one on this one?
Well, there's a maintenance, there's a warranty, and then there's a maintenance bond. The maintenance is because they had in another project, this contractor had an obligation to actually maintain it to certain specifications. And there's a question as to whether or not they've done that. There's a maintenance bond for that. That's a finite number. If the cost to the city would not exceed that. A warranty, there's not a finite number because it could cost us more depending on the nature of that. So we'll be able to go and seek that full amount to get the project to the contract specs if they fail to address any warranty items. So this is for all of those, all the items that were part of the sidewalk project.
Do you have a follow-up?
One more.
Go ahead.
The other question is, when are we going to give them the benefit of the doubt to come out and repair that? But I would prefer a date when they're coming out to do it, and when are we going to push the pressure on them to get it done on a timely manner, because
Mis-
that's been a 2-year project.
Mr. York?
Yes, yes, it has been a 2-year project. The problem with sod, and we all know that the problem with sod is that if it doesn't take by June, it either goes dormant or it dies throughout July and August, and we can't do anything about it anyway. So after September, after Labor Day, we will begin to look at that information. We'll begin to go back out and look at what is still out there, and then we will send off a request to Copenhagen at that time that said areas need to be redone because the sod did not take at that time. So
Okay.
it'll probably be in the fall, later in the fall.
After Labor Day.
September, October.
September, October.
October, November, early November, yeah.
So
ahead.
September or October, this council will have a punch list or a list on what they're going to have to replace. Am I correct? That's all I want to know.
Mr. York?
I don't know the logistics, if it needs to come forward to the council, I'd ask,
Mr. Bond?
Yeah, it won't come to the council. What'll happen is staff will do an analysis and assessment, find out where the sod needs to be replaced, and if what's in need of replacement now isn't done and takes in the fall, at that point in time, they've got a warranty. They're warranting it, they're giving a warranty that is going to be, the sod's gonna take, and it's gonna be so that you can't tell they were there at the conclusion of it. But that'll be, staff will address that with them, and it's a 2-year period, so if something seems to go and take in the fall, and then come spring, we find out that it's, the roots were compromised in some way, they're gonna have to come out and replace it again during that 2-year period.
Good.
Alderman Jacob, you were next.
I think this is more of a legal question. On here, there's a punch item list of 17 items. 3 of them says the owner does not want work done. Should we not get something in writing from them, so a year from now, they don't sell the property and a different property owner come in and say, well, how come my
Mr. Bond.
driveway wasn't completed the way it should have been?
Go ahead, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, it's my understanding, I think we know when the contractor goes, and if they say no, the answer is no. No other owners have any recourse against the city. So there's some record of it. We don't need to get a signed affidavit or anything from the property owner, but there is a record of the property owners who have refused. And anyone who would come, even if they change their mind down the road, the same property owner, or if there's a different property owner, they would have no recourse against the city to compel that to occur. But there is a list of who those owners are, those properties at least.
Okay,
You
thank
have
you.
follow-up?
No, that was just
Alderman
one thing.
Roy Wesley, you had your hand up?
Forget it.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
No.
Alderman R. Wesley?
No.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
Okay, so we got, that passes.
Next, we got a resolution seeking to approve the temporary construction easement to provide access to 183 Harvey for their stormwater sewer pipe and structures. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions on this one? Alderman Jacob, go ahead.
Just a request for staff, if there's any way we could get better blueprints, like in the computer here, because it's really hard to look at them. I mean, I don't know if Nick uploads these, or Wendy, or whoever does, but if there's any way we could get better drawings on here, would be nice.
Talked about that a few times.
Jeff will look into that, otherwise, who's got the plans if somebody, Alderman wants to see them? You do, right, Matt, or building department?
I've got them.
Okay.
As far as-
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
And that passes.
Next, a resolution seeking to approve the permanent utility easement to maintain the storm sewers at 183 Harvey Avenue. That is my motion.
Motion and a second. Questions? Roll call.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
That passes.
Next, I have a resolution seeking to approve the plotted dedication for the public street right-of-way and public utility easement to the city of Wooddale. That is my motion.
Motion is second. Questions? Roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. Hold 1 second, Mr. Murmas, you have a question?
Just a question for clarity's sake on the clarity of the diagram for the easement. What version are you looking at? The one that's on the software and the PDF is crystal clear on the iPad.
Okay, I could show you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Finance and Administration, Alderman Messina.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Under other business, airport noise, Alderman Jacob.
I have a report, back in March, we did a postcard for a week for people to complain, and I would like to thank all the residents that participated in that and did that. In February, the complaints were 39,502. In March, it was 82,507, so it over doubled. And in April, it was 83,738. So we really think those postcards help people get out there and complain and, you know, do what the city asked them to do to help out. Thank you, everybody.
Actually, one other comment. Last week you asked about communities that were donating and whatnot. I forgot to mention Elk Grove, I believe, was like 50,000. So I want to put that out there just so you guys know. But we'll work on getting you guys the list. Once this next round, you'll get a list of who did what.
Thank you.
No problem. Stormwater Commission, Alderman Wesley.
Mayor, we had a stormwater meeting last night. The concerns that the stormwater raised is they want a staff member to attend the meeting, which we have our engineers here, so. The other item was they were concerned with too many drainage things put on Forest View. And then the other thing is that they are requesting that they get a copy of any road projects that's got to do with the sewer or the stormwater pipes. And that's what they are requesting.
Okay, thank you. You have something on stormwater, Alderman
No,
Wesley?
I have.
Roy Wesley, go
I
ahead.
have something else to bring up.
Under,
Other business.
that concludes your report?
Oh, that's in my report, yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Roy Wesley, go ahead.
The detention pond over by Janice Drive. Who's supposed to maintain that? We go round and round with this. The grass is knee-high in there. I mean,
Janet?
I
Oh,
keep-
you're talking about Ethan Woods subdivision?
we
Mis- is that,
just keep on going with this, and every year, nothing gets done with it.
Is that a subdivision, Mr. Byrne? Did they have a
It's not on Janice, though.
I remember,
Ethan Woods, Mr.
I remember
Murmas.
this question being raised once before. I know I have an email record of whatever that answer is. I could circulate that tomorrow,
No,
but I
no.
know that's been answered before.
The one on Wood Lane is different than the one Alderman Roy Wesley's talking about. That's the one behind the Wood Lane one.
We have a lift station back there.
No, the lift station's on, no, there's only one lift station, it's on Janice. Oh, this, okay. The manager, you made that comment? Okay. Next, approval of list of bills, Alderman Messina.
I have two reports, Mayor. The first coming on July 6, 2017, in the amount of $420,274.20. That's my motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions? Roll call.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes.
Second report is from July 20th, 2017. We got a little bit more eager in our spending in the amount of $2,032,387.36. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions? Alderman Catalano?
On page 11, could you refresh my memory on the Northern Illinois fence, that $20,963?
Is that you, Mr. York? Mr. York?
Yes, that is the fence at the North Wastewater Treatment Plant that we did on the east side and then back around to the north. All the chain link fence was not replaced as part of the upgrade project, and it was all in disrepair. So we had brought that forward to you, I think back in April.
Okay.
It's all, yes, the black fence all the way down around the first corner. Looks very nice, and then it's chain link, regular stainless steel chain link the rest of the way.
Okay, thanks.
Was there another question? Somebody else had their hand up on this side? No?
Not till you get to additional information.
Okay. No.
That's my report, Mayor.
Well, no, we need a motion.
Oh, sorry.
Now, we have a motion, need roll
Second.
call. We've got the motion, second, need the roll call.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley? Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Wood?
Yes.
You got something for items for information only?
For information only.
Go ahead.
I just want to put it out there because it'll be past the event date. The next senior club meeting on August 2nd, you alluded to earlier someone complimenting the drive that she had in Wooddale. At the next meeting, Wooddale Cares, along with Marcia, the president of the Seniors Club, has put together a program to explain and in print the dial-a-ride in Wooddale as well as the township's ride factors once they've exhausted the territories.
Okay.
So it's very important for a senior because that's one of their losses of independence when they can't drive, but now they can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need a motion to adjourn into executive session to review the official minutes,
So moved.
land
Second.
disposition, and land acquisition. Alderman Sismarski, Alderman Jacob. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.